Hey guys, the title of my presentation is The Miracle of the Translation of the Book of Mormon. I got a lot of my information from a couple scholarly articles, The New York Period in 1820 by Richard L. Bushman, and All My Endeavors to Preserve Them by Andrew Hedges, as well as some talks by Neil A. Maxwell by The Gift and Power of God, and then a talk, The Coming Forth of the Book of Mormon by Ulysses Suarez. A lot of us know the Book of Mormon is a core doctrine in our church. It's not going to change. It's been around forever. We believe that it was translated by the book or by the power of God. A lot of us don't know though the process of what Joseph really went through, and that's what I wanted to focus on with my presentation today. I want to focus on two key concepts: that God's work will never be stopped. Although all hell might combine against us, God's going to find a way to get His purposes done, and He did that with the Book of Mormon. As well as miracles happen every day. We might not notice them. They might not be the miracles that we think of when we think of a miracle, but really they do happen every day. And Joseph was able to see that as he translated the Book of Mormon. And so we know that Joseph was first visited by Angel Moroni in 1823, and he got the plates in 1827. When he went back to get the plates, Moroni had told him not to tell anybody, but there was kind of rumors that he was going to get the plates, so he was a bit scared what was going to go down. Him and Emma went to the area where the plates were. Emma kind of waited outside, and Joseph, he originally hid the plates once he got them in a birch log for about a week or so because he was scared that people were going to get him when he originally took those plates out. So he hid them, waited about a week till he felt safe, and then he went back and he was able to get those plates out of that log. One of my favorite stories is comes from History of Lucy Smith from the Joseph Smith Papers, and this is the quote. It says, "After walking a short distance in the road, he concluded, Joseph, it would be safer to go across through the woods. In a moment he struck through the timber where there was a large windfall to cross. He had not proceeded far in this direction till upon he was jumping over a log, a man sprang up and gave him a heavy blow with a gun. Joseph struck or leveled him to the ground and ran at the top of his speed. About a half-mile further, he was met again in precisely the same way, but he soon brought this one down also and ran on again. Before he got home, he was accosted a third time with a severe stroke with a gun. When he struck the last one, he dislocated his thumb, which, however, he did not notice until he came inside of his house, where he threw himself down at the corner of the fence to recover his breath. As soon as he could get on, he rose and finished his race for the house." And that's a miracle in and of itself. The fact that Joseph, carrying these plates that weighed 40, 50 pounds, I don't know, was able to just fend off these attackers with one arm. He had to have had the strength of God with him. And that was one of the original miracles that helped Joseph get going with the translation of the Book of Mormon. Persecution continued as Joseph lived with his parents. He wasn't really able to translate a lot while he was living in New York. And so he and Emma finally decided to move to live in harmony with her parents. And one of my favorite stories was when they were moving, they were scared that they were going to get attacked on the way. So they took the plates, put them in a box, and put them in the bottom of a barrel, and then filled it with beans so that nobody would find it. There are other stories like this, but this was one of my favorites because so many people checked their carts as immigration officers or whatever, and the plates were safe, and they were able to keep them from getting stolen or anything like that. And so we know that Joseph began the translation with Martin Harris, and about 9 months after he had originally gotten the plates, they finished those 116 pages, which were eventually lost, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But after that, for about a year, Joseph wasn't able to translate. He had lost the gift, and God was kind of helping him realize his mistakes. But once that happened, in March 1829, Joseph and Oliver Cowdery began to translate heavily the Book of Mormon. Joseph received a revelation from Doctrine and Covenants 5, where the Lord basically told him that he shouldn't focus on anything else except getting the Book of Mormon done, and just showed the importance of this book for the starting of the church. And so they both were able to translate the Book of Mormon and get it done in just over 2 months, which is a miracle because according to these articles, scholars worked for several years translating the Bible at about a page a day, while Joseph and Oliver were able to do 7 to 10 pages a day, which is incredible and only could be done by the power of God. We know that Martin Harris mortgaged his farm. He was able to pay for those 5,000 copies, and then later sold his farm, which is just incredible, that trust he had in God in order to do that. And so my key takeaway from this is kind of like I mentioned, the two concepts: miracles happen every day and God's work can't be stopped. But something I learned came from another section, Doctrine and Covenants, that I studied, section 3, verses 7 and 8. It says, "For behold, you should not have feared man more than God. Although men set at naught the counsels of God, and despise his words, yet you should have been faithful, and he would have extended his arm and supported you against all the fiery darts of the adversary. And he would have been with you in every time of trouble." And this was a revelation given to Martin Harrison Joseph after the 116 pages were lost. But I think it applies in our lives too. Persecutions are real, and we're going to experience a lot of trouble and trials in our life. But if we trust in God rather than man, then we're going to be delivered. He's going to help us through our troubles. And Joseph was able to experience this as he translated the Book of Mormon. And just to close, I want to end with a quote from Elder Suarez from his talk. It talks about the Book of Mormon. It says, "The historical facts and special witness of the Book of Mormon testify that its coming forth was indeed miraculous. Nevertheless, the power of this book is not based only on its magnificent history, but on its powerful, unparalleled message that has changed countless lives." And so the Book of Mormon being translated was a miracle in and of itself. But I hope each of us can experience the Book of Mormon as Joseph did, that we can put it top importance, like the Lord said, in our lives, so that we can understand what Joseph really went through, and so that we can understand the power that it can bring to our lives. And so I really do know it's true. I know that Joseph experienced many miracles as he translated this book, and I know that it could only come forth by the power of God. And I share that in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.